Hi, I want to tell you a great story about manifestation because we've been together since 1996. And I've worked a lot of that time on attracting and lining up with a partner. Well, it hit me that if I took the long list of people I've dated, and went, okay, didn't enjoy that, want this, didn't enjoy that, want this, I created the master list of what I wanted. And
yes, you did, exactly that way. Perfectly stated.
It felt so good. I was in this hotel room and I did this and I went, well, there it is. And it was so beautiful on the page that I got joy out of just that. And I thought, it doesn't even matter when, where, it just, look at this, here it is, everything I want. And I was visiting down into another province, a friend of mine, and she picked me up at the airport and I went, look at this, Tina, here's the list. And I read it off. I said, I don't even know when it's gonna come or how it's gonna come, but I know, I have no resistance, I let that all go, so here it is. Well, that very weekend, we went to a St. Patrick's Day event and I reunite with someone from high school. We hit it off. 3 months later, we're in Newfoundland eloping, being married. Everything lined up and there was no resistance. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, so we have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you believe that you did the creating while you were writing the list?
The contrast helped the creating of all the living of the
So you understand that it was through the contrast that you created this relationship. So what did the list do for you? What part did the list play?
You focused it.
It caused you to focus your energy into alignment with what was already in your escrow.
Right.
And the moment that happened, the universe delivered to you. Now, let's take it a step further. It was already lined up. So the list lined you up with what was already lined up.
And I just believed it was going to happen, and I worried about where or how, and it did, and it just popped up.
Well, the reason that we're clarifying just a little bit here is because we offer endless processes. We are spewers of processes. There are more coming. And many times people think that the process is what does the creating. And we want you to understand, and you do, that in every case, the process that makes you feel better just causes a releasing of resistance so that you can then receive what you've already created. We would like you to accept with us, and we know it's hard because you want physical evidence that it's done. What you want is done. It's done. It's done. It's lined up. It's done. It's hatched. It's big. It's ripe. It's ready for you. So do everything you can to get in there and feel it, and then it has to come into your manifestational, actualized experience.
So now we're in this relationship. It's great. Something you said today hit me really hard when you said there's avalanche of abundance, or it's raining abundance, right? And if someone has their umbrella up, they could be blocking that. Now I'm wondering, in a partnership here, if one person is into the law of attraction and attracts and da-da-da-da-da, and the other person maybe is blocking, okay, in my world I can still attract and do my things and create my dream boards. How does that work in the couple?
Well, one who is allowing is more powerful than a million who are not. So when you are in a relationship or in an organization or in a team dynamic, the universe is responding to you on behalf of what you all want. So let's say in this couple, it's a group creation, so to speak, and you are keeping yourself feeling good. So you're always open to the receiving of the insight and the inspiration. But then you notice the other one isn't. You just put your umbrella up.
Yes.
And blamed the other for it.
I feel that, yes.
So it's just a matter of tending to your own vibration. The perfect marriage vows would be, I promise you that I will feel good and that the way I feel will be my responsibility. I do not hold you ever, 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 ever responsible for the way I feel. Instead of, I promise to do this and this and this until death do us part, we would say, I like you pretty good, let's see how it goes. And we would say, and because I want to feel good, it is my vow that I will reach for every positive aspect, not only of you, but of everything else I can find. And I will do my very best to tune myself to the best of who I am. And you, dear heart, can be lovable and I will love you, or can be unlovable and I will love you, because my love for you is not dependent upon you or what you do. My love for you is dependent upon my proximity to love.
So help me work through
What about
this
that?
when I keep observing the lack, or say, for example, right now he's been looking for a job, and for me, it'd be like I would get out there, beat the pavement, and I'd find it. But
all right. So he's looking for a job,
right,
and not finding one. Probably doesn't even want one, you think. So he's looking for a job and not finding one. So in your escrow, what do you put there? Want him to find work. You saw him not really like his last job. So what do you put there? Want him to find work that he really enjoys. You see him not going after it hard enough. So what you put in your escrow is, I want the universe to yield to him in a way that will be effortless for him. In other words, through whatever you're living, whether you know it or not, whether you say it or not, whether you put words to it or not, you've already put all of those things in your vibrational escrow. You put them in your vibrational escrow about him and his job. So now, you have built, in the same way that you had been building the list about him all of those years, you've been now amending the list. So he helped you do it. He didn't work. You wanted work. He doesn't have enough money. You want more money. He's not happy not working. You want him to be happy. He's not happy working. You want him to be happy. In other words, you are putting all kinds of things in your vibrational escrow. So now, if you think about as you look at the list now, look at the list. In other words, you know how before, when you couldn't see him, but you looked at the list, all that's hanging you up now is that you can see him.
right.
You can see him and he's not doing what you want him to do. So what does that mean? Look at the list, but I can see him. Never mind, look at the list. Look at what's in the escrow, but I can see him and he's not doing what I need him to do. Yeah, and that's why you feel negative emotion. Look at the list, look at the list, look at the list, look at the list. Focus upon your dream, but he's not even looking for a job. Focus upon your dream, but he's not even looking. And when you feel bad, it's not because he's not doing what you think he needs to do. It's that you're not a match to what you've put in your vibrational escrow. This is the separation between you, and it has nothing to do with him.
So
and the worst thing in the world for a relationship is when you put something into your escrow because of someone, and now you don't have the willpower to focus upon it. You're looking at what caused you to create it rather than at what you've created. Isn't that wonderful? Do you know that all freedom comes in your ability to focus? So your friends say, oh, you seem really happy. He must have got a job. And you say, no. Why are you so happy? Because I'm focused upon where we're going. Yeah, but you said he doesn't have a job. Doesn't matter. I'm focused upon where we're going. Yeah, but you said it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, but I'm focused upon where we're going. Your vibration is about your attention. It's about what you're focusing upon. It's not about reality.
See, I feel like I need him to be on the same page that I am. He needs to do what I do, read what I read. I try consciously not to create a mirror image of myself. I want to allow him to be himself. So by doing this...
No, you don't.
Sure.
No, you don't. You want him to be different than he is. You want him to be different than he is. You want him to behave differently than he is. You want him to make the effort to match what you put in your vibrational escrow. And
yes,
it's not his job to match what's in your vibrational escrow. It's your job to match what's in your vibrational escrow. And when you match what's in your escrow and you close the gap and you begin offering one powerful vibration, your power of influence is enormous. And do you know, when you're tied to someone as closely as the two of you are tied together, and you let him help you to identify more clearly what you want, and then you use your ability to focus and your emotional guidance system to help you know you're focused, and you feel better and better and better and better and better and better and better until you have trained yourself by virtue of wanting to feel good into alignment with what you desire. Your power of influence is so strong that, and your attention to this co-creation that the two of you are working on, that you actually summon on his behalf the circumstances and events that bring it about. That's what influence is. Jesus healed. You sat before him dripping your illness, and he did not allow himself to see your illness. Instead, he knew who you really are. He gave that your undivided attention, and he knew it so powerfully that he summoned the energy that creates worlds and flooded it all over you. And in the absence of your negative attention, you were able to influence he was able to influence the vibration into one of wellness, you see. And then he said, go forth and tell no one. Because he knew if you went home and talked about it, you'd talk yourself right back into the illness that you'd already talked yourself into, you see. Co-creation is not about finding somebody else that agrees with you and joining hands and then just waltzing off into the sunset together wanting the same things. Co-creation is about them helping you with all kinds of exaggerated step one stuff. But step three is always an independent job. Step three, so say in your marriage vows, say, no one else will get it, so don't say it out loud, but say it to each other. Say, I promise you that I will help stir up enough trouble that we will both expand enormously. And then I promise that I will not ask you to do one thing different for me to focus completely upon my expansion. I will give my undivided attention to your positive aspects, and then watch what happens. Can you feel the freedom that comes in understanding that the way you feel is dependent only upon your focus? And don't you like even knowing that when you focus yourself into the thoughts that feel good, that then you are an uplifting influence to whatever it is, your object of attention? So can you create in someone else's reality? No. You can only create in your own reality, because you can only vibrate for you. Can you influence another's vibration? Yes, you can. Criticize them and watch them wilt. Praise them and watch them rise. Speak of the things that you love most about them, and use that as your excuse to not only tune into who you are, but then to shower that pure positive energy onto your object of attention.